Oh, shit. I think I'm gonna have to move all of this. Oh, for sake. Should I just... file management?
Are we witnessing an RKC tantrum right now?
Oh, just having a nightmare really. The iMac died. Yeah, luckily I've managed to boot it in, you know, target mode so I can actually get the files off. I'm just hating myself right now really for how crap I am at file management. I'm just a messy person. I mean, look around. I'm messy in space, I'm messy in digital space. I feel like I can just only do one thing at a time. Yeah, so going forward, I'm going to try and be more organised in life and in file management. These are hilarious. These are like 70s, aren't they?
Wow, that's a mood.
So right now I'm just going through some bits that I've decided I'm probably not going to wear anymore. So I'm going to get them up on my reel, going to get photographed, and I'm going to just upload them to my Dbop account.
So this is what? This is your side hustle? Is that going on?
This is my side hustle. So obviously, like, this year has been a bit of a shock to the system for everybody. And I think I've always been kind of good at being creative, how to make cash. Even since I was small, I had my own cleaning business.
Would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur, Rachel?
I feel like I'm a music producer and I just need to make a bit of cash. But yeah, speaking of entrepreneur, I think these trousers, Jane, would suit you for me.
You're trying to sell me trousers now, is it?
Well, but yeah. See, these would look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Come try them on.
Cool, so do you want to just show us some of what you've been working on during this period of time?
Yeah, so I've done a few cool things, just posted some videos and things on YouTube, but then like behind the scenes I've just been like making whatever without any like worrying about what it is, who it's for. Yeah, so I've been working on, I got a couple of like instrumentals going. Been working on this one, working titles called Organ Thrill. Vicky came on Friday and I recorded like loads of real hi-hat and stuff. So I've got like loads of stuff here of like different sort of real hi-hats, different microphones, Rode, AKG, SM7B. So I've got to like go through all this drum stuff now and, you know, work it into the mix, you know? Do you know what that vocal sample is?
Wait, should I recognise this?
Probably.
What is it? What is it?
Well, I basically downloaded this, it's like a free trial, right? I've got this plugin called Serato sample. So I've been throwing in all like the vocal samples from the RKC album. And yeah, just...
Oh my god, yeah.
So obviously...
Yeah, all your fans should get that now.
Recycle rips and tired. Yeah, so I've basically been sampling myself. What a loser.
So, what is the RKC method when you're starting a track? What's the thought process? What's the technique? How do you start?
How do I start a track? Well, lately I've been trying to find a really quirky sample of anything that I can make like a drone or that has like one tone or maybe like two notes. And I'll just put that into session view, loop it up, try and time it right. And then I like to try and harmonize that. So yeah, I'll get like a really rubbish sample, try and harmonize it, then add a beat, and then I may come back and end up ditching all of it and just the beat is cool. So my ways of starting a track now are in a very playful way. Favourite technique at the moment is finding a weird sample. Not, you know, a sample of chords like dun 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 dun, nothing like that, just something weird that gives you a bit of something, you know, gritty in there, which adds a bit of depth to a music production, you know, instead of just like MIDI notes, you know, MIDI preset, just maybe what about some sand in a bucket that you've shaken around and it sounds kind of weird. That's what I've been loving doing lately.
What up to during lockdown, is it finding weird sounds?
Yeah, I've been playing with lots of different crazy sounds and textures and really realising how much like depth they can add to a real normal music production, you know? I still get stuck on things and get worked up, but I'm trying to just make the whole process like very free and just be like a child again. And that's why I love Ableton, because in session view, how you throw these ideas down, that's really, yeah, I think it's the best way to create.
RKC documentary number 2, sponsored by.
Oh gosh, you know I have a good relationship with those guys.
So yeah, what is it that this music's going towards? Is this your second album or?
No, I wouldn't call this the second album at all. I mean, that's why I've decided to do like a 2020 mixtape thing, you know, because like, I don't know, it feels very different. It's like a mix of everything I've sort of done this year. Basically this year, I've obviously done a couple of songs, but sometimes it's nice just to like make the beats, make the music and like not have to focus on like, you know, lyrics and melodies. And I actually love making the music just as much as I like making the melodies and lyrics.
How are you feeling now in sort of retrospect about the album you released last year, and not just the product, but like everything you went through? Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. It was a real roller coaster experience. Obviously the highs being the shows with the girls, you know, touring, actually making the music, you know, Christopher Harris mixing the record, that was a really cool experience. Making a documentary, making all the cool music videos, and it was really cool to like go in and, you know, really try to like make some amazing art to come with the record. The lows are pretty tough actually, like working you know, working with the wrong people at the beginning of the project was a really big problem. Caused a lot of problems actually, and ended up wasting a lot of money on, you know, people that basically were rubbish. So that really sucked, and that actually caused a bit of a bad dynamic between me and my team for a little bit. When I listen back to it, I actually think it sounds a lot more poppy than I wanted it to be. But maybe that's just me as I'm sort of producing more music and maturing. I don't know whether I'm like, oh, that sounds really poppy actually, even though it's not really that poppy.
So you're saying we can expect less pop from RKC going forward?
I think so. I'm just gonna just do what I want, I think. But I'm kind of happy that I managed to get somewhere with this beat, because actually I started it, like posted a little thing on Instagram and I was like, oh, this is so cool. But then I got really stuck. I like didn't know what to do with it. It was initially like just this bass line. Which I played with my little Yamaha keyboard. And I really liked it, but I just got stuck. Sometimes you get stuck in the loop. It's like really common. I think a lot of producers do. So I literally just hit reverse in Ableton and reversed the bass line. And I was like, actually, that's kind of cool. Where do I go now? But I think I've managed to blend them both together. But also I added this other little funky plugin, which is by a brand called Neural DSP. And it's actually like for guitars and stuff, but I've added this like so check it out. Turn it off. Sounds a bit horrible. And then like, yeah, it just brings all that sub out in it. And yeah, and then once I get Vicky in there now, real hi-hats, shakers, bit of toms. Yeah, I think it touch wood. Like I said, this is probably like at 60% of production right now. Still pretty raw. So yeah, but I was excited about it. And it's messy, look, I told you, file management and me. Got all these like dead empty tracks here because, you know, this would have all come from just jamming in session view. So like, yeah, I'm like a religious session view person. Whoa, look at it, look at it, look at it. So I've got like a pestle and mortar in there, some keys. You don't even notice it, right? But turn it off. It's like really flat, do you know what I mean? It's like... Whereas when you add these like funky samples I've collected and... I mean, no one would even notice, but yeah, that's a pestle and mortar in there.
Let's walk it up, I think. Yeah, let's get out of here. It's like, just get this. Cool. The autumn, does it vibe with you?
Yeah, I don't mind the autumn, to be honest. I sometimes like it when it rains. You can just... more excuse to not leave the studio.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because you haven't been able to gig at all this year. What are you missing most about gigging, or are you missing gigging? Or are you just happy to not be hauling around all that gear that we did last year?
Do you know, it's a funny one. I really miss playing with Ree. I really miss Ree, you know, and playing with Vicky, playing with the girls, just driving around, you know, stopping at the service stations, like packet of crisps, you know, all the like stuff that gets really annoying when you're actually doing, I think you kind of miss. I miss the like getting nervous and then playing the show and then after just being like, yay, we played a great show, and then like having a cider. Yeah, it's very sociable. I miss that social aspect of it, definitely. But at the same time, this year, I wanted to focus on making more music. And if someone said to me, now, do you want to do a show right now? I am not ready, you know?
Are you feeling a bit out of practice?
Oh yeah, really out of practice. Like my gear's not set up. I think I'd be terrified. Beginning of lockdown, I did loads of live streams and things. So I was still kind of semi-gigging then, but now I'm way out of practice. So yeah, and then I feel all like a slug now, like, oh, plug in my interface. Oh, like I don't know how we did it. We would get on stage, you know, at a festival setting, you've got like a 15-minute changeover. The band before has got to strip down their kit. You've got to get up there, plug in all your cables. And it's funny, we must have had a lot of energy. I think lockdown has definitely made us all kind of slow down. I spoke to Ree the other day. She was like, I forgot how to drum. She was, but yeah, it's all good, man. I think a lot of musicians have spent time trying to focus on, you know, creating instead. OP1, this has been one of the coolest things about 2020 for me, the OP1.
Everyone sounds great.
It's so cool. It's such a little, I don't know, man. It's like really fun. It's really small. It's really easy, and it does everything. Like it's got the sequencers, you know, like that do 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 do, and all the like arpeggiators. It's got great synth sounds, bass sounds. Loads of my bass sounds at OP1. So I got another sample here.
Is this from another RKC song?
Yeah. Any ideas?
Oh God, you put me on the spot again.
I'll do a little.
Oh, well, we got it now.
It's so cool.
Wow. It
Yeah.
sounds so different though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got to like pitch it to the song, and the sampler itself is really clever. It like syncs it for you perfectly as well. And you know, I said I was like fighting putting vocals on. Look, so here's like a little. I was nearly adding this vocal. I do like it, but then I'm like, no, resist. Let's go instrumental. I listen to instrumental music. Like, I love instrumental music. Actually, like, what I listen to is so different to my album, you know? Like, I am quite snobby. I like darker, melodic, electronica kind of stuff. And I don't know. So, yeah, maybe that's kind of where I'm going a little bit. Obviously, there are going to be some songs on this mixtape as well. But yeah, check out this little drop. Oh, I missed it. Where is it? It's not easy, like, to self-release and self-release and self-release. I definitely spent all of that year deep in my overdraft. You know, by the time you paid for the petrol and pay your musicians and pay for your music videos and all of these things, and you know, you want to deliver it in the best possible way you can do it, but it does end up costing loads of money. We're in competition with major labels as independent artists and trying to get our music heard. You know, then to make compromises within the music itself, that just sucks. I feel like if you do the music that you truly love and don't care if anyone likes it at the end of the day, then when you put it out, the expectation is removed, and all in all, it's just a bit of a more fun project. And that's kind of what making music should be.
There's no deeper escape.